So I was after the one show, and it occurs to me that I might pop up to Lisa's room and spread the train set out and have a proper look. I haven't had it out of the box properly, and even if I'm not giving it to the boys, then, well, maybe they might like to play with it when they come round ever. I'm thinking it's a bit late, but I'd better hoover first if I'm going to spread it out on the floor. So I've lugged the Dyson upstairs and run it over the carpet. You know, quick as I can. Don't want to disturb Glynis with the noise. It's their bedroom just the other side of the wall. Well, her bedroom. She's not an early bird as far as I know, but I don't want to disturb her. Floor always looks better for a hoover, though. It's always my job, isn't it, Jill? Yeah. Well, it was. Well, it is. Can't really believe how this is still Lisa's room, even though she'd been moved out for more than 10 years. It's no different from when she was last here, to be honest. Haven't had the heart to change anything. All her kiddie books on the shelves, and her pictures from school up on the wall. Wouldn't seem right to take them down now. And there's a lovely photo on the windowsill of her and Jill in Brid that time. I love that photo. I could take it downstairs, I suppose. Put it on the mantelpiece with the others, but I don't know. It's in its right place where it is. It's where it belongs. I'll be honest, I think the hamster cage could probably go out now, though. Never likely to use that again, am I? Although the boys might like it. They've not had a pet yet. Lisa might be up for it now. Good to learn how to look after things. Take a little responsibility for something else. Another life, as it were. Maybe I'll take it over. I could wrap it up, I suppose, as an extra present. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it, Jill? Be quite funny to take that over as an extra. No, you're right. Maybe it'd be too much pressure. Oliver said he wanted a dog anyway. Not that that's likely to happen any time soon with Dan's allergies. Anyway, so take the Dyson back down and fetch the train set from the sideboard. Hornby, 00 gauge. The cardboard box isn't quite as tidy as I remember, actually. The corners are a bit broken down and there's quite a lot of scribble, biro scribble on the surface. It's a shame. It'll spoil the look of it for a present. So it's probably just as well. It might wipe off, I suppose. Yeah, I think I'll maybe give it a go when I get a minute. Bit of fairy on a J-cloth might do the trick. So back upstairs, I'm just laying the track out. Not all of it, mind, just a few of the curved sections. 8. It takes 8 to make a circle, and they clip together all right. I have a look at the straight pieces too. I can see one or two of them probably a little too bent to connect properly, but the interlocking bits too bent to fit into each other. But some of them are fine, and the little humpback bridge section looks great. Oh, they could certainly have a bit of fun with this if I can get the train running, eh, Jill? Proof of the pudding, as it were. There's an engine. Looks like a little steam loco. Bright red with a black funnel. It's a 440 wheel arrangement with a separate coal tender and then 2 carriages. The wheel bogies underneath on the carriages seem to be intact, so I just sit them on the track and link them together. Oh, blimey. It takes me back. Mine was only clockwork, mind. So this is definitely a step up, eh, Jill? The tender and the carriages are running very freely. That's lovely. The loco itself, well, it's not so keen to run without any juice in it, so I don't know why, but I pick it up and give it a sniff. I'm not sure what I'm expecting to smell, but there does seem to be a little bit of a whiff about it. A bit of a burnt fishy smell. Scorched plastic or something. It looks to be in first-class condition. A1 by the look of it, but that smell does bother me a little. Never done the right thing. I mean, £15 is all right if it works. Only one thing for it, and that's to try it. Proof of the pudding, as it were. There's a transformer with 2 screw terminals on the front, and then there are 2 wires that connect from the terminals to the connection plate on the track to electrify it. Excellent. So, no, it's perfectly safe, Jill. They're all there and look perfectly acceptable. There's a lead from the transformer with a plug on the end, and just out of curiosity I sniffed the plug too. And sure enough, there's a bit of an odour about it. It's a smell I recognise from when I burnt the Kenwood hand mixer out. I know, Jill, the butter. Yeah, it should have been at room temperature. You live and learn. Well, I live and learn. Read the recipe before you start. I know, Jill. I wanted to make some fairy cakes to take into visiting time, but I left it a bit late and the butter was too hard to cream with the sugar. It took a bit of a pounding, the Kenwood. And then suddenly there was a dreadful noise and that smell, and a little blue flame shot out the back. Scorched my cuff. And my wrist was a bit blistered. I never mentioned it to Jill, though. I tried to finish creaming the butter with a fork, but that was no good. So in the end I stopped at the VG on the way over and picked up some Mr. Kipling's country slices. Jill always liked a country slice, more than the Bakewell slices. Too chemically, she said. But she was very weak by then. She complained of always having a bad taste in her mouth. From the chemo, the doctor said. So she didn't have one. I took them to the nurse's station as I was leaving. It was a shame for them to go to waste. And they were very grateful. I had to go over the next morning to do all the paperwork. That was, well, it wasn't very nice. And coming home again after, knowing that she'd not ever be there in the house for me again, that was... I sat in the car for a long time. Yeah, I just sat in the car waiting. I didn't know what I was waiting for exactly. I just couldn't face going in. Very odd it was. All the time she was in the hospital, it was all right. I could come and go as I needed, and it never crossed my mind. But after she'd passed, well, the whole world was empty. Empty of her. But the house was emptiest of all. She was there in all the things while she was still in the hospital, but once she'd gone, the things all died too. Lost their meaning, as it were. What were they there for now? A toothbrush and a hairbrush. What was it for now?